Kalimera. Kalimera. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Let's do it. Let's actually start down on our backs today, okay? Oh, can you see me? Yes, you can see me. Let's start on our backs, on the ground, on the earth. So I woke up today with a feeling of sadness and grief. And it's not a personal sadness and grief. It's not about me at all, but it's just the feeling. Just kind of a general feeling of that. And it feels like the grief and the sadness of all the beings, all the children that haven't been seen in the trueness of themselves. So this is our begin point as we stretch, okay? And immediately there's a feeling of tightness in the groin and the inner thigh, okay? So we're gonna go right into this. Right into like a nice front body opening stretch here, okay? The inner thighs. Where the legs connect into the pelvis. Where the legs connect into the base of the body. There feels like there's something that's been held in the base, held into the structure. And so we can just invite a breath and an awareness into the base of the body, literally the ground, the pelvic floor, the genitals, the groin, that whole base code of the body. Like when we embody into form, the code, the base that we land into, okay? And there's a feeling of it being too small right now, like it's just too small of a base, too small of a form. And that there is a base that is big enough, that is large enough to land into form. And that's what we're going to open into and as right now in this stretch class, okay? So it's like all the ways we've held ourselves tight in form, that is in shift, that is in release, that is opening and unfurling into the unheld in form, the body that is big enough for the fullness of who we are. The base that is big enough for the fullness of who we are to fully land into and function from, okay? And I recognize that maybe what I'm saying doesn't make any sense, but for some of you listening, but that's okay. There's just a breathing into the base, into the pelvic floor, into the hips, into the groin. And allowing the belly, allowing this whole area to open. And be felt. And feeling the fluid nature of the base of the body. So if your hips want to move a little bit here, like a micro movement, they can do that. So my hips are kind of doing this really small, subtle spiraling motion here. So I'm not just laying static, but that there is motion and there is movement here, okay? And that's beginning to open all the way through the pelvis, the hips, the thighs, even into the belly. And from that base, there's a stretch up through the spine now. A stretch through the core. It's a stretch through the core and the spine that's coming from the base, okay? Maybe the intestines want a little bit of a stretch here. I reach up through the armpits, the shoulders, feeling it in the shoulder blades, all the way up through the fingers. And stretching all the way down the hips and the thighs here, okay? Like your whole body, in this position here, your whole body can stretch. All down the legs. Okay, so now the right arm reaches up in this position. And from that reach up, my right leg is going to lengthen out straight. Okay? Oh, and that feels really good through the hips. You can even point through the toes on that right foot. You can reach through the fingers. Okay? Full cellular stretch here. Full stretch. All the way, reaching beyond. You can even feel that in the right ovary. Oh, reaching. Ah. Bring that back up to where it was. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, okay? So left side, armpit, arm starts to reach up. So the arm reaches up out of the armpit, out of the ribs, and then that allows that left leg to just naturally slide straight. Oh, that feels really good, okay? Reaching out from that left hip. So the whole left side, again, it's going to be the opposite in the video that you're seeing. The whole left side is getting this beautiful stretch. It's a deep stretch. Like I want to say like a fascial. Okay, and now we can start to feel the earth. We can start to feel the cellular substance of earth in our body as the same. Okay? So we're not just stretching on top of the earth. It's as if we are inside the earth and our body is the same and the information is the same. And that's where that emotional point gets touched right there. Okay? This left side definitely feels different than the right side. Left side feels a little more held. Armpit, hip. Again, letting the body stretch in its fullness beyond any held back limitation. Through the thigh. And bring it back up. Oh. Okay. Bring the feet to the ground. from the base, we're going to roll it up into a nice bridge. Okay, what's nice here is to lift your arms up to the sky, because then you can really feel the thoracic spine on the ground, and you can slowly roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, like giving your upper back a really nice massage here with the floor, with the ground, all the way down, slowly rolling the spine. Okay, once you land, bring the knees up to the chest. Curl into a little ball if you can. Tuck your nose to your knees. Hold that. And then bring it down again. Okay? Gonna do that again. Arms over the head, starting at the base, at the tail. Feeling the spine on the earth. And slowly roll. You press into your feet. When you get to about mid-thoracic spine, it's nice to lift your arms up towards the sky, okay? So you can really make contact in that space between your wings in your upper back. You can see I'm kind of moving around up here, giving my upper back a little massage. And then slowly roll the vertebrae back down. You can go at whatever pace feels good here. As soon as the back fully lands on the ground, okay, sometimes it's nice to do a little shake here of the pelvis. Relaxing the jaw, letting that whole spine get a nice shake. Letting the thighs shake, again, letting the organs inside the pelvis just get a nice little morning shake up. Gosh, I don't know what it is about today, but there's just a feeling of emotion and whew. So we just meet it. And then again, knees float to the chest, curl into a little ball, okay? If you can, touch your nose to your knees. If you can't, that's fine. Just curl into as much of a ball as you can. And roll back down, legs up to the sky, and reach the legs out into a nice open V. Right? Opening the inner legs here. And the ankles. Opening the inside of your legs. You can even take your hands and do what I'm doing, just sort of touching the insides of the legs. Excuse me. I touch myself. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Oh, let those knees bend. Hips, lower back. And you can add a gentle rock side to side. This feels so good. Oh my gosh. Oh, this feels so good. My neighbors are going to start wondering what I'm doing. Oh. Deep hips, deep pelvis. You can even feel this in the base of the skull here, the occiput. Like held information in the base of the skull and in the base of the body. Oh, opening up. Opening up. Oh, it feels good. You can feel this in the, like what holds the information in the eyes, like what we see from. Okay, so if your eyes are closed right now, you can roll across the back of the skull as you're rolling across the sacrum, as you're feeling the stretch in the hips, and the eyes are just softening. And what runs the eyes, like the nerves, the neurology behind the eyes, softening, opening out to something bigger, something different. Oh my God. And again, we return to that position we started with. Bottoms of the feet together. Okay, arms overhead. See if it feels any different. Oh yes, it does. More space. more fluid, more freedom. Okay. And knees up. Let's roll up and down the spine a few times. I might have to go in the water, you guys. It's going to be cold, but it looks so nice. Keep rolling up. One more time. We're going to roll all the way up. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees. And just bring your hips right back. Nice stretch in the hips. Nice stretch through that lower back. Again, through the arms, armpits, the sides of the body. Oh, gosh. And we come right up to hands and knees and come into a nice circling of the pelvis and the hips. And so as we do this motion, there's a feeling of the spine being fluid, but also long, okay? So it's not a, oh my God, I'm just realizing, I hope that you guys can hear me. But there's a feeling of the spine not being compressed and compacted, okay? Particularly the lower back here. There's a feeling of the spine being really fluid, but spacious, free, okay? All the way through the anus, all the way through the base, all the way through the sacrum. There's a spaciousness and an opening in the spine, not a compaction in the spine, okay? And you can feel that all the way up into the roof of your mouth. All the way out through the bottoms of the feet. And again, as we circle here, it's really nice to put some weight down into the hands, like press into the ground, and then you get some nice, smooth gliding movements through the shoulder blades, okay? Really feeling shoulder blades and hips here. And the spine is totally free, not compressed at all. Oh, gosh. Okay, curl those toes under. We're going to lift it right up. Excuse me. Tuck my shirt in. Okay. Opening up the backs of the legs here. Pressing one heel down. Just getting a nice stretch in the backs of the legs. And we're still with that nice stretch that we started with at the beginning, from the armpit up through the arm and then down the leg, okay? Just in a different position here, but that same whole body stretch. Oh, okay, really stretching the backs of those legs. You can even come up onto the tops of the toes, and stretch the top of your foot like that. Okay, nice and easy. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on the top of the foot. But just getting the bones of the feet. And come forward over the wrists into what's known as a high push-up. We're just going to go back and forth here, okay? From the base. Okay? So earth up through base, forward. And base back. Earth through base, forward. And base back. And hold it. You can also be on your knees. Hold it. And bring it all the way down to your belly. Knees out to the sides. Again, one of my favorite positions. Oh, belly on the earth. And just let the legs windshield wiper. Nice and easy side to side. Okay, so now, like when we were laying on our back with our knees to our chest and we were rolling across our back, we're now rolling across the belly and the front of the pelvis. Okay? Softening the belly. Ooh. Maybe you get a couple adjustments in your hips. Like an unwinding through the hip sockets. Again, feeling earth body, womb, body, same body, infinite information, unfurling forward. Okay. Legs straight out on the ground. You can come rising up onto your elbows if you like. Feeling the pelvis again on the ground. Or if you want to bring it up higher, you bring your hands back further and you can lift up. Whatever, I'm going to get my hair back. Don't do that. Whatever feels good. But again, getting that into the fronts of the thighs, the psoas, front of the belly. Opening up the body. Opening up. Opening up to nature in your cells. Opening up to the breath in your cells. And we bring it down. And we come up and back again into that nice stretch through the sacrum and the hips. So now we can start to feel this kind of like wave motion, okay? It's coming from the earth, but there's like a motion that we can ride, I guess is the word. It carries us forward, okay? Up to hands and knees. Tuck in your belly fat. Bring it into downward dog or this position. And we're just going to walk the hands towards the feet, feet towards the hands. Nice forward bend. Oh, that feels good, right? Oh, it's going to be a good day. Just letting the spine hang, opening up the backs of the legs. It feels so good to stretch the backs of the legs right now. Oh my God. I keep wanting to say it's like feels as good as drinking coffee does. Because I love drinking coffee, and this feels as good as that right now. Oh, the stretch open through the legs. So good right now. The backs of the legs, the thighs, the hamstrings, the calves. Oh my God. Oh. They're opening into something bigger than what they were held in prior, okay? Now here we can let the knees bend a little bit, okay? And let the belly rest on the thighs, and we can take the hands back. And open the shoulders. Now you can move a little bit side to side here if you like, or you can just stay here in the center and breathe that open. Or let that be breathed open. Really feeling this in the chest, okay, like in the spine, actually, like the sternum, the front of the spine, and the front of the body. like inside the chest, in the lungs, in the breath. Oh. And let the arms come down. And slowly, roly up. And just standing like a starfish. Whole body reaching out wide. From the core of the body, allowing your limbs to reach infinitely, feeling the bigness of your being. Feet turn out, holding the same reach with the knees out. And again, feeling this stretch and this reach beyond just the boundaries of your physical body, okay? Feeling the massive being that you are, that has no boundaries and no limitations. And we bring it down again. Feet fold in and fold it forward. Feeling this lengthening through the spine, through the back of the neck. Really through the back of the neck. You can bring in a side lunge. Okay, now you can just keep doing this, especially if you've got sensitive knees. Okay? If your knees feel like they want to and they can, bring it all the way over and lunge to one side completely. Okay? And back up over to the other side. And again. And again. And back up through the middle. And we stay here. And again, let's actually do a twist here, okay? So take your left hand down onto the ground. You can keep your legs straight or you can let them be bent a little bit. And we open up that right arm to the sky. Your head can look down, it can look to the side, it can look up, whatever it wants to do, or it can move. And we go over to the other side. Opening, unfurling, opening. And again. Feel this opening now from the heart. Through the hands and the fingers, arms, hands, and fingers, okay? Yeah. Nice. And back down to center. Walk your feet in. Again, bend your knees, arms behind the back again. One more time. See if it feels a little bit different this time. And see if you can keep your hands interlocked and roll up. Okay, feet out. So shoulder blades are squeezing together in the back, like that. Knees out. Drop your base down. As low as you can go, release the arms out. As low as you can go. And up. And again, allow your base to get wide. Hold. And up. One more time. Base out. Arms up. And rise. One more time. Feet in. Bring it down. Relax through the back of your neck. See if your body feels a little more fluid. Like there's a little bit more flow through your body. Like literally you feel more fluid flowing through in your body, you as fluid. A little more freedom. Especially if you were here from the beginning. Okay? Walk your feet together. All the way together this time. We haven't done that yet. And let yourself stay nice and folded forward, okay? In this position, you can lift your toes up a little bit, so you put a little bit of weight in your heels. Again, if this is hard for you, just keep your hands on your calves or bend your knees and do this, okay? And get your hands on the ground. Put a little bit of weight into your heels, lift your toes up. That goes right up into the sits bones, right up into where your hamstrings connect up into the backs of the legs, okay? Don't have to hold it long, but just a little touch back there, okay? That feels good. And then slowly, slowly, we come up to standing. Arms overhead and down. Have a beautiful day, everybody.